Thanks everyone for joining us on day 6 of our baby shower for the Wildlife Clinic, and thank you all so much who've been supporting us so far. We're so close to raising the money that we need for our first goal, which is to purchase new incubators to help keep all of our new arrival babies nice and warm and cozy. So thank you again everyone for supporting us so far. Today we'd like to introduce you to the Wildlife Clinic's hospital kitchen, and where we do all of our diet preparation, to talk to you a little bit about the nutrition and the diet needs of the animals that we care for here. So again, I'm Rebecca, the director and wildlife rehabilitator, and welcome to our kitchen. We'll start just by introducing you to our refrigerator. Of course, we have industrial needs, but only a regular refrigerator, which we keep well stocked with fruits, vegetables, and other prepared diet items like soaked rodent block, cat food and kitten food, puppy food, and eggs. We keep a lot of our food here in the fridge, but most of it is actually pulled out right now because we're about to make our midday meals for a lot of our animals. We use a wide variety of fruits and vegetables for our birds and our mammals, and this morning we were very fortunate to get a lovely donation of some of the food items that we'll use. And all of this great produce that you see here will actually go through in probably just under a week. So it looks like a lot, but with the number of animals we have in care right now, this isn't going to last us as long as you'd think. Most of the fruits and vegetables and canned items that we get are donated, which does help support providing the proper nutrition, but we never skimp on diet because it's so important for the progress of the animals that we see. One of the main parts of diet for baby mammals is, of course, formula. So you can see we've got 3 different types of formula made up here. These come in a powdered form, and then we mix them with water to make the formula itself. And we would go through easily 1 container this size a day for the number of babies that we have in care right now. And then we have 3 different types of formula that we're using for the different ages and species of baby mammals we have in care. When we're ready, we'll pull up the volume that we need in a syringe to measure out the correct amount, put it in a little jar, and warm it up in a baby bottle warmer, just like you would for human baby formula. The formula has to be fed at exactly the right temperature to make sure that the babies can process it properly. So we keep it all in the fridge until it's ready to use, and then we go through it all in less than 24 hours. As the babies get older, we do need to start providing more natural diet items, and we simulate their wild diets as close as we possibly can. So we have diet cards made up for each of the different stages of baby squirrel diets, for example, based on how old they are in weeks. And then they get adult and juvenile diets as well. And these diets are made up of a mixture of complete food items like rodent block, and we sometimes soak it in water to make it a little bit more appealing to little babies who still don't have their teeth yet. And then we combine that with fruits and vegetables, eventually adding nuts and even insects to the diet. For birds, live insects are a big part of their diet at all stages. Most baby birds get almost entirely live insects when they're very small. So we need to be providing that same sort of nutrition. We do that through a couple of ways. So not only do we collect a lot of insects ourselves, but the kids up at the Schuylkill Center Nature Preschool help us out by collecting worms for our birds as well. So they'll drop by with bucketfuls of earthworms that they've collected as part of their work outside in the Nature Preschool to help support the baby animals here at the clinic. And then to supplement the live worms that we catch, we also raise insects as well. So we have our own mealworm colony. So mealworms are these little grain-eating larvae that we allow to turn into beetles, which lay eggs, which then hatch into smaller mealworms that they grow, and we feed them out. And one baby bird will often get fed every 20 to 30 minutes from the time the sun comes up to the time the sun goes down. And that's a lot of mealworms in one day for a lot of baby birds. So it's great that we've been able to raise our own colony to help us have that ready to go supply of healthy live insects. diets that we're using here at the clinic have been developed by us for our own specific species and groups of animals, based on a lot of different research, a lot of personal experience, and the work of many other very talented rehabilitators across the country. So we have diets for 4 different four different groups of birds that fall into categories of based on how much plants and seed they have in their diet versus insects. And then we make up base diets that have a mixture of fruits, vegetables, and protein in them that we then combine with live insects, seeds, suet, and other food items to make a complete balanced diet. We also spend a lot of time focused on how we're presenting food items to the animals. Most animals don't come across a bowl of food in the wild that they're going to naturally recognize. So we have to find ways to get them to eat the food that we're presenting them while they're in care. Live insects goes a long way to helping them recognize food, but we also do things like skewering pieces of fruit on little bits of wood, or rubbing suet into the bark of dried logs for woodpeckers so that they recognize it as food. We then, when we move them outside in preparation for release, start to offer food in more natural ways, like hiding it around their enclosure. We don't even offer it in bowls anymore because that's not how they'll find it in the wild. And then the type of bowl is important as well. We only use metal jar lids, for example, for squirrels because they would chew on plastic, and these are the perfect little size. So instead of recycling your metal jar lids, if you wanted to bring them to the clinic, we'd be more than happy to have them. And the final thing that we do for our environment here at the clinic is we also compost. So any organic waste that we aren't going to use, we do compost. We've got that set up right here at the clinic, so it's not going to waste. And that helps to feed the worms that we have as well. So we're trying to do a whole life cycle of diet for our animals. We treat our little worms just as well as we treat the rest of the patients in the clinic to make sure that they're all getting the care that they need. So thank you all very much for your support and for this little tour of our fun little kitchen and for this introduction to diet and nutrition. And we really appreciate your support for all of the help you've been giving us, your donations of food and supplies. It makes a big difference, and we hope you'll continue to support us as we work to provide proper nourishment for all of our babies. Thank you and have a great day.